In the expanding universe that began with Yellowstone, one of the most compelling historical additions came in 1923. And among its standout supporting characters was Marshal Mamie Fossett, portrayed by Jennifer Carpenter. Her presence wasn't just a cameo or a minor subplot. It added a powerful layer of historical realism and thematic depth to the series. First, it's important to understand that Mamie Fossett was a real historical figure. She was one of the first female U.S. deputy marshals in the early 20th century, serving in Oklahoma during a time when law enforcement was overwhelmingly male-dominated. By incorporating her into 1923, the show didn't just create another fictional character, it grounded its world in authentic frontier history. In 1923, the Dutton family is fighting to survive in a brutal era shaped by drought, economic hardship, prohibition, and violent territorial disputes. Law enforcement during that time was fragmented and often harsh. Fossett's introduction serves two purposes. She embodies the evolving face of federal authority, and she brings a different kind of strength to the Western narrative. Jennifer Carpenter's portrayal avoids turning Fossett into a caricature. She's not written as a novelty female marshal, meant to stand out solely because of her gender. Instead, she's competent, composed, and direct. Her authority isn't loud, it's steady. In a series filled with explosive personalities and violent confrontations, Fossett operates with controlled professionalism. That contrast makes her presence even more striking. Her role in 1923 primarily intersects with the broader themes of justice and accountability. While the Duttons often operate outside the strict lines of the law to protect their land, Fossett represents structured federal enforcement. She's not emotionally entangled in ranch rivalries or generational grudges. She's there to carry out her duty. That difference matters. The Dutton family story has always been about legacy and survival, often blurring moral lines. By including a historically grounded marshal like Fossett, the show highlights the tension between frontier justice and institutional authority. She symbolizes a system trying to impose order on chaos, even if that system is imperfect. There's also a symbolic layer to her character. The world of 1923 is one of transition. The Old West myth is fading. Modern America is forming. Women stepping into roles traditionally held by men mirrors that societal shift. Fossett's position as a deputy marshal quietly underscores that change. She represents progress, even in a violent and rigid environment. It's also worth noting how her presence enhances the franchise's broader themes. Across Yellowstone and its prequels, the question of who controls land and power is central. Law enforcement in this universe is often portrayed as reactive or corruptible. Fossett, however, feels principled. She doesn't carry personal vendettas. She doesn't seek dominance. She seeks resolution. That grounded energy adds texture to the show's moral landscape. For viewers connecting Marshals Season 1 to 1923, Fossett's role also enriches the legacy aspect of the franchise. If Marshals explores modern federal law enforcement through Kayce's journey, then Fossett serves as a historical echo, an early example of what federal authority looked like in the Dutton timeline. She stands as a reminder that the tension between the Dutton family and federal oversight isn't new. It's generational. Jennifer Carpenter's casting was also significant. Known for intense and disciplined performances, she brings credibility to the role. Fossett isn't romanticized. She's portrayed as someone who earned her badge in a difficult era. That authenticity prevents the character from feeling like a token historical inclusion. Ultimately, Marshal Mamie Fossett's role in 1923 expands the franchise's scope. She bridges real American history with the fictional saga of the Duttons. She reinforces the theme that the West wasn't just shaped by ranchers and outlaws, it was shaped by federal officers, reformers, and trailblazers who operated within the law. In a series built on legacy, her character reminds us that history isn't only written by powerful families. It's also written by those who enforce the rules, even when they're outnumbered. And that makes her one of the most quietly important figures in the 1923 narrative.